Hello, my fellow Alaskans. How are we all doing today? I am here at Wasilla Lake in Wasilla, and we are out here today to capture the protests that are going on. This is supposed to be the labor unions, NEA-Alaska, and all these other good folks are out here today to support or completely go against everything that is going on within our government, from F Trump to thank God this is America to no kings. We're just going to go out and do a little bit of street interviews here today and see what we can find. Take a moment right now if you can and like, share, greatly appreciated if you can do that with this video. We are here in Wasilla, Alaska to capture the protests that are going on here on the side of the road. They show up every day during the week. Most nights I can see someone out here standing around saying no kings, no oligarchy, eat the rich, we are the socialists. Take a moment again, please like and share this video. Folks out here come from all bridges of life. Most of them, as you can see, you will not find many of the younger generation in this crowd. It will be all the senior type folks. They are constantly watching mainstream media and what they have to say, and I'm curious to see what they have to say. So if I can get a few people today to go on to give a nice little interview today, I'll see if I can get a few people online and see what we can do. So again, if you haven't taken a moment and liked and shared this video, please do that right now. Be greatly appreciated. We appreciate you. It's our first live stream of the summer. It's been a while since I've gone out and actually done this. So again, please like and share this. Since I was last here, it looks like they put a whole bunch of barriers out here on the side of the road, try to keep people from crossing over. See if we can get a good view here of what's going on a little bit better. So you can see the signs out here, no kings, worst president ever, 50-51, no kings. Unions once made American dreams possible. I can share this video. I'm sure you guys have all heard that the House and the Senate have recently passed a bill, HB 57. Started out as a no cell phone in school bill and was hijacked when their $1,000 BSA bill, HB 69, got vetoed by the governor. They say this was a compromise bill, that it finally got them some of the policy put in that they've been wanting. All it did was, it was just a cheap way for Republicans to sign off on spending another $200 million a year and make sure that they can get themselves reelected in the following year instead of standing up for what's right, because they have no way to pay for it other than to steal our PFDs to do just that. So again, if you haven't liked and shared this video, please do that right now. I'm going to go ahead and do what I probably shouldn't do, and I'm just going to go ahead and walk the front of the line. GI makes this country stronger. Unions once made the dream possible.
Sure you want to walk on that side of the guardrail with your back to the traffic?
Oh yes. Defend the Constitution, defy the home criminals, fascist Trump. Interesting. Mayday, Mayday, America is burning. That is so true. California is constantly on fire. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Oh, I can't make that one out. To spare the indulgence that we can afford during this shamefully time in history. Probably mispronounced a lot of that just because I was trying to read it off the screen. Deportations without due process is human trafficking. Stop the decay. Beware of the dog.
There's an E on the end of that.
Oh, Doge. Oh, okay. Beware of the Doge. I'm so tired of Trump's BS. The power of the people is greater than the people in power. That is so true. Peace. Toxic masculinity kills democracy. Who will stand up to him? We the people. Cuts to Medicaid will kill people. I'm still trying to figure out what cuts he's supposed to be making. Who will stand up with him? We the people. Impeach Trump now. To die. Oh, well, got another side. Immigrants keep America strong. They do, but illegal immigrants make us unsafe. Denying due process, un-American. Stop waste, fraud, abuse of power. The only orange puppet I trust about science. Oh, I haven't seen him in forever.
Stand for Ukraine.
Stand for Ukraine. Hate won't make America great. Hands off Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, national parks, and our courts. Justice for all, honor the law, uphold the Constitution. Whoop, another side. Too many issues, not enough cardboard, fascism. And what's all the little other stuff there? Unqualified cabinet, abandoned allies, chaos, lies, fascism, and tariffs. Terrified. Nice little pun. Trump's first 100 days, chaos, cruelty, and corruption. If you're not outraged, you're not paying attention. American reflecting kings see since 1776. No kings, no dictator. Defend our democracy, defend our Constitution, defend free speech, defend due process, liberty, justice for all. I really got to read the signs instead of my screen. Freedom over fascism. Is there another side? Hands off our Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security, our data. Impeach the felon Trump. Deport Elon. He is allowing children to starve while he dreams of a $92 million birthday parade. That's right, $92 million. Where is the right to life? No paid protesters. Impeach Trump. Treason. Deport treason. Crush ICE. Deport must. Trespassing. Crush ICE cruelty. Tax the rich. I gotta quit trying to read my screen. It makes it too small. Honk if you ever drunk test war plans.
We think that's why everybody's honking.
Read my lips, no new tariffs. Come back over here. It'll take about 10 minutes.
What's
The
going on?
fascists are coming.
Oh, no. You're going to get hit. You're not listening. Hey.
Hands off our Constitution. So who are the fascists?
You're going to get hit by a car, so I'm a little concerned.
I'm good. Thank you for your concern. I appreciate it.
Look how close you are.
I know how close I am. I've been doing this for years, almost a decade now.
Okay.
So thank you for your concern. But who are the fascists? I mean, they're coming. They are here.
They're here.
So who are they?
That would be Trump and Elon and everybody else who's supporting his bullshit.
So what is a fascist?
A fascist is a form of government where you have one leader and everybody just does exactly what that person says. It's a form of dictatorship.
So wouldn't that make every president throughout history a fascist? I mean, Biden, everybody did what he said to do. Obama.
Did you go to school?
Say what?
Did you go to school?
Yes, I did go to school.
Did you take civics classes?
Yes, I did take civics
You
classes.
might go look at your textbooks.
And I've read the Alaska Constitution, our state constitution, and I've also read the United States Constitution. Have you?
I have, but
Okay.
I've actually comprehended it.
Good for you. Good
Thank
for you.
He has more felonies, more charges against him than anybody that he's deported.
Now, was there due process during these charges, or was there the court's been manipulated to push charges that never really exist?
Well, he bought the court, the Supreme Court. He
So
appointed,
you're a
4 judges?
patriot of what country?
Of the United States of America.
Okay, well you don't sound like it.
Why not?
Because you don't seem to understand what the Constitution really means or what democracy means.
Well, we're not a democracy, we're a republic. There's a big difference here.
That's true.
A democracy is more like an oligarchy that sits there and dictates down from the top
Okay,
up.
you need to move on because we don't agree and you are just making shit up. So have a good day.
I hear that a lot. I hear that a
bet
lot.
you
That
do. I
usually
bet
comes
you
from
do.
those that watch CNN.
I bet you hear that a lot.
Hands off our Constitution. Bring Kilmore, Agrego, Garcia, God home. Is that the Maryland dad?
Yes.
That's the Maryland dad. You know that he beat his wife, that he has MS-13 tattoos on his fingers. He's been found through 2 points to have MS-13 ties.
Photoshop.
That was Photoshop.
So you're just saying
That was what?
Photoshop.
That was Photoshop?
Yeah, you can tell.
The
you can tell.
The
You just
tattoos
have to look at it.
themselves are not Photoshop.
No, but when
the
it says MS-13, is Photoshop.
Well, the written part of it is, but the meaning of the
Photoshop. It
symbol.
was photoshopped. It's a fake.
And the other things that you said, I take issue with because you told me that you know this and this and this, and I don't know or agree with what you said. So you can have your opinion and what you believe, and I can have my opinion and what I believe, but they are not the same.
That's true. We're each to our own opinions. That is more than right. But facts are facts, and there's only one truth in the end. So, which one of our opinions has more truth to it?
I know which one I think it is.
I know the truth is that our president tells thousands of lies.
Only 32,000 at first 4 years.
And I know that no human is illegal because that is not a human description. All humans, I know that in the United States, not all the residents are white.
Where was your hat made?
Where is my cat? I have no idea.
Can you flip it over and it'll say?
Does it matter? Where was your cat made?
Let's see. Mine was made in China.
So you're made in China too, then. So
I'm just curious where yours was made.
I have no idea. That doesn't matter to me.
We're just
Okay.
protecting the Constitution.
Yeah, we're protecting the Constitution.
I know all the embroidery work that's done on the hat was made in America.
Oh, really?
Where the hat was made, that I couldn't tell you.
Okay.
No kings.
Where are you from?
Alaska.
No, why are you recording this?
Because this is a free nation and I can
No,
record.
I'm asking you who you're recording it for.
for?
I'm recording it for myself and my audience, the people that want to watch this.
Which audience?
If you'd like to go and see it later on, you could always go to Politadick. Anywhere on the internet, just type in Politadick, you'll find these videos.
It's all right. He's already ID'd.
Proud Union Home. Christ Alert, get involved. They are coming for your rights, resist.
Gotta do something.
What's that?
I said we gotta do something.
What
Can't just sit back and take it.
are we supposed to be doing something about it? Be specific.
Gotta do something about Trump's tyranny.
How is he a tyranny, tyrant, I guess would be the better, more
Yep.
formal term?
Yeah.
Well, what policies he's done that says that he's running a tyranny?
Slashing jobs, creating tariffs, destroying the economy, and deporting people who shouldn't be deported.
Deporting illegal aliens, or is he just deporting everybody off the street? You're next.
Well, I don't know about that, but I know some people that were deported were not gang members and shouldn't have been sent. And now he can't get them back.
So if we'll just go half the number of what I think there's actually in the country. We have 20 million illegal aliens here in America right now. And if we deport 5 million of them, but 5 of them out of those 5 million happen to have been a mistake, should the other 4,999,996 or 95 others all be returned because of those 5 mistakes, or should we celebrate the wins and admit they did wrong for those 5 and bring them back?
Exactly. But we also have to recognize the fact that we were all immigrants here. Every one of us were immigrants here at one time. We came to this country, our forefathers came to this country as immigrants. So perhaps these people need to be respected.
So did your forefathers? I know my forefathers came here as settlers.
Okay.
We didn't come here as immigrants. We were settlers. Do you know the difference between a settler and an immigrant?
I don't.
A settler comes in and they forge in a brand new frontier and they build everything up around them as they go. An immigrant comes into a structure that has already been made.
Well, we came, I guess, as settlers then because there wasn't a structure already. But that doesn't mean that they're trying to get away from tyranny any more than our forefathers were.
But what's the exception? Why should we allow people to come here illegally instead of following the legal process?
Well, that's what some of them were trying to do and they got deported anyway.
Well, under Obama and Joe Biden, I mean, we'll just go with Joe Biden since he's the most recent before Trump. We had 10 million people, estimated 20 million, somewhere around there, that came across the border illegally. No process, no due process for them. They were just let in. But now we're expected to give them due process to have them removed? Should we?
Yeah.
Give them due process to be removed, but no due process just come right on in, we don't care, and now that you're here, there's no reason to get rid of you. You got to use the law to keep you here no matter what.
Well, I think we have to protect people's rights.
Yes, sir. You look like you got something to. Whoa. What's that, sir?
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone?
Leave her alone. You're bothering her. You're upsetting her. Get away from her now.
Wait, would you like me to leave?
Sure.
Okay, then I will go ahead and leave off. No matter what this gentleman may think, you are your own person. You have the right to say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
You don't have to let him tell you got to shut up. That's not the way America works.
Telling you to shut up. Don't you get it?
Get what? I'm trying. You really see. This is the problem out here, folks. Is trying to have a decent conversation with somebody, and somebody else has just got to step into the middle of it.
Okay, what kind of conversation you want to have?
Whatever you want to talk about. What brings you out here today?
Trying to save democracy.
Trying to save democracy. What democracy? We're a republican. So if we're a republic, how can we be saving democracy?
We're a democratic republic.
A democratic republic.
Right, which means representative democracy. It's a democratic republic.
Well, there is a big difference between the word democracy and republic. Do you know the difference
I
between
do.
the two?
Why don't you tell me?
Well,
what your
republic is
definition?
independent of the government themselves. We are governed by we, the people, you and me. A democracy is more or less an oligarchy, where it is the upper echelon that decides what we, you and me, get to do in life. So under a democracy, our life and freedoms are restricted. Under a republic, we are open and free to be able to prosper and do what we want. That's the basic simplified version of it.
Are you sure that's not, anarchy? True anarchy is that people govern themselves too.
Well, there's always got to be structures and rules. Otherwise, you could just come out here and start shooting everybody up and down this line, couldn't you? That would be an anarchy.
Or attack the Capitol and then get away with it.
Well, who attacked the Capitol? Was it the Democrats when they went and stormed the Capitol, beat on the walls, spray painted it?
Shit on the floor.
Overtook the Capitol floor and the Senate more than once during Obama's term and President Trump's term. Shouldn't those be the same under the same category?
I'm not sure which one you're talking about because I don't remember any of that stuff. I don't remember any watching in midday, watching people with flagpoles beating our policemen on the steps of our Capitol.
So when all the Black Lives Matter riots were going on and they were beating the police and they were burning down the federal building, none of that.
Now, excuse me, the person that was caught on tape burning down the auto parts store in Minneapolis was actually a Proud Boy who was dressed as a Black Lives Matter person. The two policemen that were shot in Oakland during the Black Lives Matter were not Proud Boys, but that other neo-Nazi thing, and the ones in Portland that everybody points to. When the BLM people were there and left at 10 o'clock, it was then the neo-Nazis, the Proud Boys, the Boogaloo Boys all came in and they did the damage. The difference is you couldn't tell who was doing the damage during those dark nights, and everybody blamed it on the Black Lives Matter. But you could certainly tell who was doing it at 4 o'clock on the 6th of January, 2021, and they looked like you and me.
They did. So
they looked like you and me. There was no Black Lives Matter people.
Does Antifa fall anywhere in this category?
What does Antifa mean?
Anti-fascist.
Right. And don't we have a fascist?
If you were to Google Antifa.com, it takes you directly to the Democrat campaign page. It took you to the White House all through that. Before Biden, it would take you directly to the Act Blue.
Let's see it right now. Well, I will, man. I will. I think you're totally full of poop, man.
Yeah, it won't take you to anything but a Democrat site. Type in Antifa.com.
I did Antifa right there. Antifa, the United States. What is Antifa?
The definition will go to the website Antifa.com.
Well, I don't go to websites. Websites are nothing but propaganda. Okay?
So CNN's propaganda, MSNBC is propaganda, Fox News is propaganda.
No, that Fox
I can keep
Fox
going
News
down.
definitely is. They had to pay over, $750 million because they were leading people like you astray.
Well, wait a minute. So
$750 million.
$20 million lawsuit against, or $20 billion if I remember right. No, it was million. $20 million against CBS.
You're not right.
So CBS, they doctored the time, or not time, but 60 Minutes, I believe, or it was Time, one of the two. They did an interview with Kamala Harris and changed what she said. They're now settling out of court on the $20 million lawsuit that President Trump brought up against them.
They haven't settled anything out of court. I know the only settlement out of court is the Fox News, $758 million to a single company that they defamed about changing ballots. You guys
Dominion?
You guys bring up things that are minuscule and I can tell you things that are $758 million, and you still listen to Fox News.
Actually, I don't listen to Fox News. I'm very much an alternative news source type person.
Oh, you get on Tucker Carlson, or you get on Steve Bannon, or you get on one of those people.
No, I actually go to all different sources, even the ones I don't approve of.
Okay, prove it to me. Show me.
Show you what?
I showed you Antifa. That didn't take me to any kind of democratic thing. I put in Antifa.
You typed in the word Antifa.
I did. You're right.
And I asked you to type in Antifa.com. What are you so scared of? To type in an actual website to see where
I'm asking you to type in anything. I don't see you proving anything except just sticking to trying to intimidate people. And frankly, most of us liberals are not we're not scared. We don't need to have flagpoles and guns and body armor, because we're the ones that have the courage to look people like you in the eye and tell you that you're full of shit.
Hey, I got a question for you.
Certainly.
Do you have written consent to post our pictures? You don't, so you do not have permission.
You're in a public place. I'm sorry, but
That's
you
right.
don't have no right on that.
No, yes, I do. You can't post it. You can record, but you cannot post.
Well, you know, my audience says otherwise. They're watching you live right now. You can find this on X,
Hey, I want you
YouTube,
to talk
Rumble.
back to me and talk to me about that they settled for $20 million, and they haven't. But
no, they have actually pulled the case, and they have now in negotiations so that they can settle this out of court.
that's what they're saying on Fox News to you right now. Are you sitting there across the table? Do you know actually what's going on with it?
Do you?
I'm saying. No.
Well, right now I said it's currently in the process of being negotiated so that it can be settled out of court. And the outcome of this, you don't know. I definitely don't know.
No, so why are you saying that that's happening? If you don't know and I don't know, then it isn't true, is it? You're making things up, just like our president that did 30,000 lies in his first term. 30,000 times he misled the public. And not once was he held accountable in the news sources that you look at, or the news sources that you're putting that in my mouth right now. You know?
It came from CBS, NBC, CNN.
Really?
Actually, CNN, it wouldn't be on.
Show me that. Show me that.
You show me. I mean, you're the one that's denying it.
You're making stuff up.
I'm giving my opinion. You've given your opinion.
I'm not giving your opinion.
Am I asking you to prove all the allegations you've made over and over again?
You're asking you're saying that this is the truth. The one thing Trump has done is made sure that nobody understands the truth.
Okay, so let's change subjects here. Let's go talk about illegal immigration. Do you approve of having 20 million people illegally cross our borders, take our jobs? Many of them are violent criminals that have over and over again done harm to our American citizens here within our United States. Do you approve of those people being within our country?
Well, first of all,
utilizing our resources, taking our Social Security. Well, thank you so much for your time.
You're afraid of talking to me, right? You're afraid of talking to me.
It doesn't look like I'm afraid to talk to you.
You're afraid to show any proof.
Very young ladies here have come up and have told you to not talk to me. I'm just here to be an instigator. See that now? If you don't believe me, they're now putting their signs up in front of me, trying to make it look. See, I'm not the one cutting off this conversation. Lisa, stay strong. How to spell tyranny? Trump? Save public media. Very interesting. It's not left or right, it's right versus wrong. So yeah, this has been a very interesting. If you haven't liked and shared this video, please do that right now. I'm gonna, know your parasites. Deer tick, dog tick, lunatic. What's that?
Can I tell you why I became a Democrat?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. People honking there.
So, I grew up in the 50s in Alaska, and a lot of women came up here, and a lot of women got dumped up here, you know, by their husbands. And I know a couple of women that literally worked themselves to death and worked themselves to death. They died trying to, before Obamacare, before Denali Kids Care, before Medicaid expansion. You didn't have any medical coverage. Women didn't make any wages to speak of, you know, and they just worked themselves to death. And I love it that I live in a society now that kind of has some idea that maybe we should take care of everybody, you know, and take care of. Everybody should have a chance to see a doctor.
But where does that care end? I mean, when does self-sufficiency and taking responsibility for your own actions begin, and government taking that and doing it for you end?
Well, I think we just kind of have to find a way. It's, you know, there's mathematical ways to do it, and that's what, like, if you have any insurance at all, like through your union, through your employer, or the idea is that everybody pools their money together, and then everybody gets what they need when they need it. Some people never use it. Some people are really, really healthy, and that's the idea behind any insurance risk pool at all. And other countries said, okay, instead of you know, that's what they do with universal health care, is pool all the money and say, okay, whoever needs it gets it.
Okay, for universal health care, you're talking to roughly 50% of a person's income that they are making every single day would end up having to go to government services just to pay for the socialist stuff.
It doesn't in Canada, it doesn't in England, it doesn't in Germany, it doesn't in Sweden, and it doesn't in Norway. You know, I mean, they don't pay 50% in taxes. Granted, their taxes are higher than ours, okay? But their wages are higher, you know, and their standard of living is higher. So it all works out in the end because they made a commitment to make it work, you know?
Okay, I agree to disagree on that, because I've taken a deep dive into the actual healthcare of having socialized medicine versus pay out of your own pocket, or buying it from, say, an insurance company to have your coverage that way. And socialized, you end up with long waiting lists and long waiting lines to be able to get the medical care, to where a lot of people, they do die long before they even get their first appointment. People in Canada all the time, before the Trump came into office, they would come to America to be able to get the health care they needed, because waiting 6 months for a diagnosis on a cancer is something that you just can't afford to do or wait for.
It's not a perfect system, you know.
Because you're going to tip over, okay? You're
like,
at an
oh,
angle
okay.
here.
I promise not to tip over right away. Yeah, I'll tip over in a couple of minutes. But
you're scaring
you know,
me.
like in England, they have so underfunded their healthcare system, and they've been doing it for years. The Conservative government. So when they did Brexit, they had the Brexit bus. Remember the Brexit bus? It was a red bus that went around and said, we're going to save all this money if we pull out of the European Union, and we're going to put it all into the healthcare system. They didn't save money. It cost them a lot more money, and they haven't put it into the healthcare system. I mean, it's like our education system in Alaska. You got to fund it to make it work. You know.
Well, if Alaska's education, we're ranked 51st in the nation right now. If you bring in the third world countries, we are literally the worst in the majority of the third world countries for our education. They've gone away from reading, writing, and arithmetic, and have brought in policies that you can watch it. The mainstream, when it first started to really change, was in the early 80s. By 1990, the policies you had to pass a test just to be able to get your degree, the diploma for graduating the 12th grade. And you can watch our education system completely go downhill from the beginning of the 80s to where our current standings are right now. We here in Alaska used to be number one in the nation. And the increase in funding has been happening every single year. Inflation proofing happens whether you believe it or not.
We have starved education. Like, we haven't had any increase for 7 years.
So how much does Alaska's education overall, state, federal, and local all combined, how much do we spend here in Alaska?
I can't tell you.
$2.9 billion.
Which isn't.
That breaks down to $22,800 per student. A school of 200 students would have approximately a $4 million budget, and 504 school districts within Alaska.
Yeah.
Charter schools get $17,000, where a public school is getting $22,000 plus.
Look at, you have to look at the whole state. Like, have you looked at the scores in the Matsu? They're not that bad.
If you take the charter schools out of the equation, we're still the worst in the nation.
No, we're not. The charter schools didn't bring us up that much. Look,
You take the charter schools out of the equation, we are no longer 51st, we are 52nd in the nation for just in the United States for an education.
In there's only between correspondence studies and charter schools, that's only 25% of the kids in this district. 75% of the kids in this district are in public schools.
Yes.
I mean, it's all they're all public schools.
So what do you consider a good school? I mean, if you look at the overall ratings for the Scholastics test scores that come out every single year when they do their benchmarking,
well,
the Matsu Valley or statewide, we're averaging around 30%. 70% failure rate, and only 30% of the kids actually have an education that's for the grade they're in.
I happen to have taught in this system when we were at the top of the rung, and at the time that I taught in the system, which was in the late 60s, early 70s, I'm not that young.
When we actually provided an education here in the state.
There were 120 teachers applying for every single job in Anchorage. 120. Now, nobody wants to come to Alaska because we underpay teachers, they don't have a retirement plan. It's like a first-year teacher has a really tough time.
Well, why are the teachers underpaid? I mean, literally, I've crunched the numbers. I've looked at the what it costs. I picked, we'll just say American Charter School out here, since charter schools were brought up. American Charter School's budget is sitting up with a little over $3 million inside of their budget. They only make $17,000 out of the $22,800 that's allocated per student in our state. So that means some other schools receiving $5,000 more than they are with their per student basis. They do it with just a hair over a $3 million budget. They have a retention rate of around 80% of their teacher staff. They have class sizes that are under 20. Their teachers are paid equivalent to what they are inside the public schools, but their administration cost is nowhere near what they are in the public schools.
Wow, I didn't know any teacher in this state had only 20 students. That's great. The public schools have to have 35 kids. Well, depending on the age, okay? But if you
is that the fault of the budget or the fault of the school districts of being able to hire the teachers? I mean, they had Anchorage School District had an additional approximately 180 positions available and open. 100 of those positions were teachers' positions.
Well,
is it that they're not able to recruit the teachers, and that's why the class sizes are so high? I mean,
the highest correlation between learning is teacher competency and teacher load. If teachers have time to spend with students and they're really, really good teachers, then you're going to get a good education. And by the way, the Matsu School District look at their breakout everything else. And charter schools, okay, give me all the kids that have really engaged parents and a low class ratio and kids that aren't moving around, kids that aren't learning disabled, kids that aren't autistic, kids that aren't, it's a piece of cake.
So you're saying that 30%, 36% success rate, it means that we're the best in the state, and we're supposed to celebrate that type of failure?
No, it's not.
I mean, 70% of the kids aren't getting a proper education.
How are you? Well, they're getting some education, and we know how to improve it. We have lots of data. We know exactly what to do to improve.
How?
You hire really competent teachers. In order to do that, you're probably going to have to pay them. You're probably going to have to pay them competitively.
Well, thank you very much for your time here. Appreciate it. Alrighty, my fellow Alaskans, we've got the type of people that love to come out here and make things worse than what they really are. See, these are the type of people that want to hurt their fellow Americans, shoving their signs in my faces.
Our government sold out to private enterprise. 'Cause nowhere is safe in this world of things. Consensus manufactured through bigotry.
Flip your sign.
So billionaires and bosses
I just want to see what you have. Stop arming Israel. Thank you.
Are you with the USS Liberty?
What's that?
Are you familiar with the incident involving the USS Liberty in 1967?
No, that was long before my time.
Well, you might want to do a little research on that. USS Liberty. 32 U.S. sailors murdered by Israeli forces in 1967. 2 days.
That sounds horrific.
It was.
You said U.S. senators, 32 of them, or?
Sailors, U.S. sailors.
Oh, sailors.
It was a naval ship.
I'm having a hard time hearing you over that.
Yeah.
Well, appreciate
1967.
We shall overcome. Left or right, we see wrong. Our labor, our power. I mean, that one right there is actually one that I can actually agree with all 100%. Trump, 328 million reviews. Very bad, not recommended. Current threat level, orange. All right. Defend democracy. Workers, not billionaires. We are the people. Protect the U.S. Constitution is what makes us great. Profit over the planet, we all lose. No kings, no dictators. No kings in America, the law is king. Impeach Trump now. Cuts to Medicaid will kill people. The power of the people is stronger than the people in power. No kings. Checks and balances. The constitutional crisis is here. Welcome to the jungle, 8647. Protect the federal workers, immigrants, LGBTQ+, women, all rights. What TF, USA? Stop truth decay. Despair is not an indulgence we cannot afford during the shamefully time in history. Fight. Deport with due process is human trafficking. Oh, without due process. Man, I gotta really stop looking at my screen. Dump Trump. Another dump Trump. Worst president ever. Hands off Medicare, veterans programs are our bodies. DEA makes our country stronger. Are we traffic Yet? Oh, terrific, yes, sorry. The great unions made America great for workers. No kings, no fascism, no dictators. I'd rather be a pig than a fascist. Save our democracy. And you're wearing, I was about to say you're wearing a piggy outfit, but it's just some pink.
It's pink for women.
Pink for women. Gotcha. Trump's first 100 days, chaos, cruelty, corruption. I love the rule of law. Ooh. If it's really about criminals, then why are the ones in the White House? Diversity over dictatorship. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. Gettysburg Address, Abe Lincoln means all people. May Day for workers, make unions great again. Denali. Denali Park is a wonderful place, and Mount McKinley makes it even better. History is watching. We, the people, dissent. It is not normal. Silence is compliance.
Why are you recording?
The ashes of indigenous people. We got a patriot here. Congratulations. Thank you. Man, you can always tell when you're getting into people that really don't have no respect.
Well, you're the one who doesn't have respect.
Follow the rule of law. You would think, that you would want this for more people to see it so that you get your message out. Instead, you try to be an obstructionist.
You're not going to give the correct message.
Well, what's that?
You won't give the correct message.
Man, I tell you, this is rude people.
Why don't you go back with your people then?
You are my people. Just not the rude ones. Rude people don't really have much voice with me. Collective bargaining, Head Start, child care, living wages, workers' protections, the right to unionize, health care, paid sick leave, support Medicare, Medicaid, working families, Denali Kid Care. Woke is not an insult. Book banning has never been the right side of history.
You're in kind of a dangerous spot there, guys, with all that traffic.
What's that?
It's pretty dangerous with all that traffic there going by it.
It really is pretty dangerous.
Yeah, but it's probably worthwhile, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, after almost a decade of doing what I'm doing right now, I know how dangerous it can be. It's usually the people in the line that are the scariest. I can't mention how many times I've had signs shoved at me so far and tried to push me out into the middle of the road. Hands off Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security. Stand up for workers' rights. Stop the steal, Medicare, 401k, Social Security. Support democracy, humans' rights, workers' rights. Protect due process. Hands off. Stop the orange laughingstock. Don't wait till it's too late. Resist. Impeach 47. Krasnow?
Krasnov.
What is?
Russian asset.
What's Krasnov?
That's his name.
Who is that?
Trump.
Is that in?
Supposedly, that's his Russian asset name.
That's his what?
Russian asset name.
Russian asset name.
Yes.
Interesting. Never heard that before.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Me neither.
Not Trump, protect jobs, living wages, union strong. Workers United, living wages, check yes for unions. Toxic masculinity kills democracy. Support Ukraine.
That's right.
Rule of law, justice, Doge bags, equity, inclusion, diversity. They're eating the checks, they've been eating the balances. Billionaires, keep your damn hands off my Social Security. We can do it. Hands off. When injustice becomes law, resistance becomes duty. Oh, isn't that cute? Hey, check this out.
You can stick a pin in it.
What's that?
You can stick a pin in it.
Oh, it's a voodoo doll. Interesting. So is this for therapy for people around here to be able to stick Trump, stick him to the man?
It
Or?
might help.
Couldn't hurt.
No kings. Protect our Constitution.
That's Terry.
Is coming Trump's recession. Unions protect workers' living wages, paid leave, health care, child care.
Someone besides yourself here?
What's that?
Are you representing someone besides yourself here?
I'm representing myself and my audience.
Who's your audience?
Alaskans. 99% of all of my followers live here in the state of Alaska. Hands off our freedom and Social Security insurance. We're fighting for public schools, public lands, women's rights, accurate history, national parks, the alphabet plus rights, Veterans Affairs, librarians, free speech, science and research, Social Security, democracy. Mushers for working people. Silence kills democracy. Trans women are women. The only monarch the U.S. needs.
Is a butterfly.
I like that.
I did too.
Defend democracy. So far, I'm going to say you got the second most unique sign I've seen out here today.
Oh, all right. Let's do a walk and see the other one.
The other one is about 3/4 of the way that way. Alaskans for firing King Trump and his turd Rick. Sullivan, Begich, Murkowski, do your job. Stop bending the knee for us all. Defend democracy. Uphold the Constitution. Oh, got another side here too. Convicted Trump equals felon plus mentally insane plus Musk equals felon. Unelected idiot. GOP equals sniveling cowards and lapdogs. Like, share if you haven't done it so far. Our military veterans, kids, healthcare, jobs, anything Trump does takes away. Freedom of religion and the press needs to be protected. I agree with a lot of what you have right there.
Thank you.
Well, if only people around here would agree with the freedom of the press instead of slamming their signs in my face, I'd be much happier. Unions once made the American dream possible. He is allowing children to starve while the dreams of, I read that one earlier, 92 million birthday parade. That's right, 92 million. Where is the right to life? Whose birthday parade?
Trump wants a military parade for his birthday. A $92 million parade. parade. That's his dream.
Didn't they?
He wanted that the first
Try to do that during their first term.
He did, but he's still talking about it.
Still talks about. Did it ever happen?
No. I hope it never
do you think it'll really happen again this time?
I have no idea. I can't predict. He's talking about it. He wants it. His birthday's in June sometime. So I pray it doesn't. I'm just saying there's money. You know, we don't have to take it from kids that are dying. It's just a choice of where they want to spend it.
Mary Patola for Congress.
A little dated on that.
Oh, wait a minute. No, that's just a reusing of a sign there. No to fascism. No question who you voted for. Deport Elon. Oh, impeach the felon Trump. Support the Constitution, not Trump. Sign for a tiny man, not my Pope.
Wannabe Pope.
Yeah, say what?
Not my wannabe Pope.
Not your wannabe Pope. Okay. Too much Kool-Aid, Clorox. Thank you. Dick Tractors. That's what's different. What's that?
Dick Traders.
Dick Traders. Oh, okay.
Like Trump. January 6th. So we don't need any dictators. Traders.
Very true. We don't need any dictators, but we do need a firm hand that's going to shrink our government down to nothing. Too much power out there in the upper echelon that's taking our rights away as we the people, and it just really needs to come to an end.
Well, they could have done it in a more
they don't know
thought
how to
out process, you know, as opposed
Good to
to.
see you.
Yep, good to see you, Patty. You know, they could have gone about it a whole lot better way, but Trump's not capable of that.
So is it just the process of the way they're doing it that's disturbing, or is it the fact that everybody out there is literally under the sights of the chopping block?
No, I think the government needed cut, but it didn't need totally eviscerated. You know, do it in a methodical manner as opposed to, you know, all at once. That's what I'm saying. You know, but Trump's not capable of that because that takes a thought out plan, and Trump has no plan.
So we've been waiting for Congress to do something like this for almost 100 years now, and different terms have slowly eliminated employed forces, only to rehire them back again, to where now we've got more representative government than we actually have anywhere else as an organization. Where do you begin? I mean, whose jobs should no job ever be eliminated? I mean, that's kind of where we're standing at right now.
I don't think they should have started with all the nuclear guys that they had to rehire, because turns out nuclear is actually a big deal. It's, you know, it's not something that you can just.
Well, in most cases, when you're cleaning house, if they're a business, they would first go after and eliminate all of the overhead. And
a business would not have gone, a real businessman would not have gone about downsizing in this manner.
No, they're true. They would have done it just a slightly bit more methodically.
Right. Right.
But
a little thought process may have helped.
But if they went with each individual organization, one person by one person, would they ever be able to actually eliminate any of the employed force?
Sure.
How? I mean, I see those individuals each bringing a lawsuit, each person that gets filed, saying we have our rights under our unions to keep our jobs, you can't fire us.
Well, there is a way to downsize. I worked for ARCO, and they let 30% of us go in one day, and then they had to rehire.
But was you guaranteed your job that you can never be laid off, let go? So your difference is between the business you're working with and government is government has protections in place to keep those people employed. Where you work for a company that doesn't have those kind of protections in place, and you're working for your living, literally a working stiff.
Right. A well thought out plan could have achieved. It may have taken longer. Yeah, it wouldn't have been overnight, but we also wouldn't see just like the tariffs and stuff. Trump's walking back everything he's done. They've had to hire people back. They've had to lower the tariffs, take them off, for 90 days. Everything he does, it ends up because he has no thought process. He can't think something through.
So has there been anything in Trump's first 100 days that's been positive? Anything that you can signal out as being an accomplishment? Or has it all just been negative and hell-bent and cutthroat?
Well, he has lowered the price of crude oil because there's no demand in the future. Of course, the state of Alaska doesn't like low oil prices, so now the state's going to be in a bind because they're only going to get $50 for their barrel, and
Well, wouldn't that be because of bad policy? I mean, we can go back, if you want to talk about oil in Alaska, we had SB 91 that got repealed for what they currently have now.
But the current situation, the price is down because of one orange man caused everything that's going on. And so now Dunleavy and Beggish and Sullivan are going to have to suck it up and say, well, we can't make our budget now because Trump's tariffs lowered demand for everything worldwide, and now we're getting nothing for our crude oil.
So wouldn't development have something to do with that? I mean, we've been pretty restricted on what we can actually build here in our state. Every time we try to start up, the one thing that generates the most revenue for our state is our resources, but we're not allowed to build any mines. We can't build any new roads. We're not allowed to drill for any new oil wells without going through 20 years of litigation and...
Well, do you know why the Trans-Alaska Pipeline is such a success? Because they held their feet to the fire, and the environmentalists and stuff said, you're going to build it, but you're going to build it right. And do you know why our oil industry is the example for the world? It's because the fines are exceedingly high. Because if they weren't, the oil companies wouldn't care, and it would look like East or West Texas.
So if we do it the best in the world, which I agree with you, Alaska does it better than anywhere else.
Yes, we do.
Why are we not allowed to do more?
We do. NPRA is open, and as far as ANWR, I'd bet that if there was actually oil there that the oil companies wanted, that it would be open. There's not been...
Well, there is a lot of oil that's already been discovered in ANWR. The village of Tyonek, which a lot of people know as Bartertown, they're at the top of the world, just like Barrow.
Right.
They have their own oil reserves sitting there right off the coast. They developed up plans to be able to extract that oil so that they could be self-sufficient there. But every time they get approval to be able to do something, the environmentalists, the new administration change, Biden shut it down for them. They got all excited under Trump. They started doing everything needed to be able to put that into production, and then they got told no. Now they're still living off of government subsistence for their survival, where they couldn't have been financially independent.
All right, we're done. Have a good night.
You too. All right, folks, you see how it goes when you try to have a decent conversation. You can only just get so far until you start to argue or discuss or give your own opinion. If you haven't liked and shared this video, please like and share the video. It would be greatly appreciated. Everybody that's out there watching right now, you are awesome. I'm going to be out here for just a little while longer before I might decide to go call it quits for the day. I'm not sure. So I'm going to go ahead and do one more walk down the line. Lots of people, they were all, you can see lots of the cleanup days over there. This is where all the progressive Democrats and socialists that are out here, union people, bought and paid for to be out here protesting today. If you've been paying attention to social media from Alaska AFL-CIO and NEA-Alaska, they have all been promoting this event going on, which is why you see such a wonderful turnout on this beautiful Saturday evening. So this is going to be pretty much my last walk. If anybody wants to talk, this will be their last chance to do it. If you haven't liked and shared this video and shared who is running the asylum here in Alaska, you can see it here who it is. Again, thank you all for being here. We really appreciate it. Justice for all, honor the law, uphold the Constitution. That's a new one. Hands off America's institutions, save the federal services plus jobs.
What's the point of this?
What's that?
What's the point?
What's the point?
Yeah, your point. What are you up to?
I'm out here sharing this so that all of Alaskans who wish to participate that couldn't be here today has an opportunity to share vicariously.
Okay.
Give their own opinions on what they think is going on out here with the event, and just be a normal out here doing my civic duty, political activism, whatever you may want to call it. I'm just out here showing the world. All right.
Why, where's it?
Pretty much what you're doing, isn't it?
Yeah. So where's it going to get posted somewhere or what?
It's already live. You can find it anywhere at Politadick.
What?
Politadick.
Politadick.
An A, not an I, but yep, I'm a political dick.
Okay.
So.
All right. Thank you for the answer.
What's that?
Thank you for the answer.
Anytime, anytime. So in all honesty, you can really see who the majority of the people that are out here today. I think the title on the top of my video covers it quite well. And it is definitely the asylum that is running our state and our country. And it's not the asylum that the people are out here protesting against that causes the majority of the problems we're all having to deal with now in America, let alone here in our state. I mean, we just had ourselves another $200 million increase to our budget. Did you just holler Putin over?
Yeah.
You did?
It must be, right?
So that $200 million they just passed for education has no strings attached to it whatsoever. In fact, the one thing that they're touting as a victory is they went from $1,800 to $1,000, and now it's $700 with still no real policy involved with it. Nothing that's going to change our worst outcomes that we have. And they had no way to pay for it. The Senate Finance, the House Finance have both admitted openly there's no way to pay for it. The money, the revenue is just not there. Declining oil prices, anything that drops below $68 a barrel, does not provide enough money for our state to even cover the basic functions without stealing more of the permanent fund dividend. And this was before they passed the disastrous education bill that they just did. Just wait though, today they had defined benefits on the chopping block up inside of the House committee once again, discussing about how much that's going to cost us in the finance. And let me tell you, they had no real numbers. They tried to say it was going to be cost neutral. The last time they passed this cost neutral and got rid of it was back in 2006. And that put us roughly about $20 billion in the hole. They never made any nation great. Proud Union home.
Put it on your turn. We gotta be proud, man. We gotta fight back. Hey, Politadick.
How you doing?
How are you?
Good, good.
Coming out.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually went and walked the line, so.
Yeah? Well, good for you.
You
want to look at our buttons?
Well, what's your button?
Right up there. That's United for Progress. Whoop. That's United for Progress. We're fighting back.
All right.
Well, what?
Oh, I'll never say no to swag. My wall is covered with it at home, I'll tell you.
So look for Politadick on Facebook. He's just slightly right of center. Maybe not, but he's a good guy. He's always civil, and we appreciate him being out here.
Well, simply put, I don't like either side, so I think they're all corrupt. But as you said, though, I do have my conservative values that kind of keeps me centered more than a lot of people out here would prefer.
Well, just be careful with this traffic, okay?
But after 8+ years, old hack.
Okay, great.
So like, sure. I literally want my tax dollars to support the national park science education, conservation, mental health, and helping marginalized people, in case that wasn't clear. All very good points. Workers unite, living wages, check yes for unions. So again, thank you guys all for being here today. If you haven't liked and shared, please do that. If you're on Facebook, send us some stars. We always do rate that when that happens. Every little bit goes to keeping making sure our platform stays up and running. Covers all the services to be able to stream to 6 different channels at one time. Your support makes that happen. Go to Politadick.com. That's Politadick.com. Click on that donate button.
It's really dangerous to be walking on the side of the road.
What's that?
With these cars going by you at 50 miles an hour, you're really chancing it.
Man, where's the police where we need them if they're doing 50 miles an hour on a 45 mile an hour road?
You face traffic and these cars are going by you just inches away, and you don't seem like you're aware of the danger.
Well, I'm very aware of the danger. I'm very self-aware.
Okay, well,
I appreciate your concern.
Good luck to you. I need to get.
I really appreciate it.
I hate seeing people get hurt.
Well, thank you. I appreciate your concern.
Let's see.
Mayday, big money hates unions. Oh, I know where I'm at now. These are the people that keep trying to shove me out into the road. The one that told me over there, please be careful, be safe, there's a lot of traffic coming. And she just seems to want to make sure that I get pushed out into the street and get hurt. That's really, really sad that she wants that to happen. Read my lips, no new tariffs. I got to get a little closer for that one. All right, that one's pretty cool. All right, that is the third most unique one I've seen out here today.
The third? Oh, I came in third place?
Well, you're in runner-up for second, but I think the other one that was second beats yours. The number one, though, hands down, they earned the title.
Well, thank you very much. I don't have one of those.
Oh, if they would only change that tagline at the very bottom to save our republic, not our democracy, I would agree with that sign. Maybe. Practice radical empathy. You don't have to earn the right to have rights. Protect our Constitution. The only kings we want are salmon. And if only we were allowed to actually still catch them.
Right.
Then I would be a very happy camper. I mean, I was a little kid the last time you could actually bring them in. And not those jack kids. Totally different. Save our democracy. FDT. The great unions are made great. The great unions made America great for the workers. And I can tell I'm starting to get tongue-tied. Need something to drink. Oh, back to the voodoo doll. You want to get out some of your aggression on Trump? Come and pull the pin, stick it in. No thank you. So you know what to do at this point. Mash that like button, hit that share. Let Alaskans see what Alaskans out here are standing up for. All right, I think it's almost time. It looks like I'm getting close to the end of the line here. Actually go over to those people that support Trump, see what they may have to say. I've yet to walk over in that category yet. You guys are much more fun. You got a lot more colorful signs, I'll say.
Remember the USS Liberty. Never forget the USS Liberty. June 8th, 1967. Look it up.
This is a coup, a constitutional crisis. Sullivan and Begich, do your effing jobs. Deny rules, due process is un-American. Murkowski doesn't get a place on that sign?
She had a place on one of my other signs, but at least she's saying something. But she's had plenty of places on signs.
Hands off endangered species, EPA, hands off endangered species, everything. Veterans programs, fair elections, our body, clean energy, public lands, alphabet rights, civil rights, voter rights, immigration, schools, oceans.
Our
What's that?
ass is getting pretty pretty far out on the road.
Oh, I'm keeping an eye how close I am to that white line, and the only time I've gotten near it is when people in this line have shoved me out there. More than once. Well, maybe you shouldn't be out here holding signs if you don't want to be filmed. I mean... Democracy rocks.
I know where everybody else is.
Stop the steal, stop scoop. Awake and angry. All right, we've been walking up and down the line here on this side for quite a while. Let's go see what these people over there have to say. And they're a much smaller group. Maybe they've got some different insights on what's going on out here today, what their opinions may be. Again, if you haven't liked and shared this video, please do that right now. Greatly appreciate it. If you're on Facebook, click the stars. Help us grow. Pay for the services that makes it available for us to be able to do these live streams. All right, I would say this is the Trump corner. We have been walking the anti-Alaskan, anti-American line, and now we're into Trump country. And these people are out here, and it's clear that they're supporting Trump. Again, take a moment, like, share this video.
Have a good day.
Now I'm just about ready to set this down for just a minute. I'll keep streaming though for a little bit, and then we'll go from there. Awesome, awesome. They were just walking by, enjoying.
Driving by, and they said, "Do you have an extra flag?" Well, yes, we do.
Very nice.
All these Trump flags, and they're all freaking different.
Alrighty, folks, if you haven't liked and shared this video yet, what's your problem? Alright, I'm going to set this down for just a minute. I need to take a small little breather here.
Okay.
Trump hat, yeah.
Got the inside scoop. My daughter tells me.
I should have bought more jump paraphernalia.
How you doing?
You gotta get better flags.
What?
You gotta get better flags. We don't have, you guys got it.
Yeah, I only got my 24 one.
Well, I'm resistant Trump, but you guys get your voice too.
Oh yeah, we do.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna sit on your truck too, man. What
Go ahead.
Take care,
Your
guys.
playroom. You do.
Oh my God. Nice.
All right, as you can probably hear for a while now that the horns keep on blazing over here in comparison. I walked out of the line for almost an hour and you could hear the horns every once in a blue moon, but as soon as they get down to this side, it seems like the horns always seem to like to go off quite a bit.
We're winning.
When it comes to the popularity vote, I think you have it. When it comes to those who don't have a brain cell between the group of them, that clearly is on the other side. Hey, listen to these horns. They are just non-stop this direction. The never-ending horns. But I know you guys are not here watching. If you are watching out there right now, are not here to hear what these guys have to say. We already know what they have to say. We greatly appreciate it to see a few supporters out here showing the opposition what the opposition really is. So once again, if you haven't liked and shared the video, why haven't you? Come on now. Like, share, promote this video. Let more Alaskans share vicariously what is going on around our state right now. Everybody that you see on the other side over there, and I'll flip the camera back. All these folks over here on that side right there, bulk of them are paid for to be out here right now. They work for the unions, they work for NEA-Alaska, Alaska AFL-CIO. They're a part of these different organizations. They could be firefighters, which is doubtful. But most of these are just union workers that are capitalizing on a state level one way or another for their welfare and their benefits. They want to see things like defined benefits and see, I tell you, every time I hear a horn honk, it's usually over here. And every time there's never a horn honk, it's who I'm heading towards. Oh, there's someone honking horns. Oh, now they got a boo. So definitely kind of night and day between the groups that are out here today. But honestly, you're not here to hear my opinion. You hear me just to be a person that asks questions, pushes a little bit of buttons, see what kind of comments I can get from people. It's greatly appreciated that you're here. Like and share. Alright, we're going to do one more walk down. I hear there's hot dogs hidden down here somewhere. Looks like the groups are breaking up and heading home, getting kind of sparse. So this will be the last time we walk the line. Again, it is like night and day out here when you can hear the traffic going by. Horns are blazing on the other end. This side stays pretty silent. Periodically you get some horn honking. So defined benefits and pensions, what do you guys think about it? Went through the House Finance Committee today, was heard. They're looking to pass that before the end of the year, which they're in 101 days today. And between defined benefits and the education that they just passed, that's going to be roughly around 400 to 500 more million a year that will be going out the door. That money, they have no way to pay for it. There's no extra tax revenue coming in that they'll be able to utilize to cover the costs. I'm sure you guys are all aware of that there is no money, that they are dead broke. Our government has nothing that they can spend when it comes to tax revenue. And they have decided that the $80 billion that's sitting there in the corpus and the earnings reserve account combined is theirs to spend any way that they want. And God forbid any of us Alaskans receive a PFD, because they know how to spend that money better than we do. Since the start of the theft of the permanent fund dividend, we had 18% of the population in the state of Alaska that was living on welfare in one form or another. Since the theft of the PFD, the expansion of benefits here in our state that brought in the semi-middle class, we now have over 1/3 of our population that is living off of welfare programs and state-sanctioned government care. With the passage of the education bill, and if they pass the defined benefits bill, which they have plans to do before the end of the year, we're going to be looking, instead of that $1,400 PFD that they passed there in the House in Juneau, going to be reduced down to $500 or more. And I say more as in going down, not up, to cover the cost of government spending. I'm really shocked I didn't see a single Eat the Rich sign out here. I really expected that one. You know, I always got to love the signs that says immigrants keep America strong. But they always leave the illegal part out of it. That makes it the opposite.
You leave what illegal part out?
Oh, well, I believe immigrants coming to America is a great thing. I just think they should be doing it lawfully. The illegal immigrants, on the other hand, they're not doing it the right way. They deserve to not be here in our country. They can't respect our laws. They shouldn't be here.
Right. But how do you know that they're there illegally unless you have due process? How do you know? I mean, they're picking up those people that they're picking up now. They're taking them to El Salvador. They don't have any due process.
They don't. They don't. Really, they haven't been through a court of law. They haven't been determined that they're MS-13 gang members.
What about this family that was just in? They just moved into Oklahoma, into an apartment in Oklahoma, and all these people came in from all these different. They said one's from the FBI. They said one's from ICE. They have all these people. Nobody has any signs. Their faces are covered. They're not wearing any insignias of who they are. They took all of the laptops, all of the devices, all of the money, even though the names of the people that were living there are not the people that they were looking for. So now they have nothing. So and now they're saying, okay, well, here, they don't know where to go to find out who has their stuff. This is a family that has, they're citizens.
Who is this?
This is in Oklahoma. It was just in the New York Times. It was just in the New York Times.
So
in the Washington
this is different
Post.
than the Maryland ad who's...
This is a different one than, but okay, so let's talk about the Maryland dad. So you have this guy from Maryland. He already was told when he got put over there, they said they swept him up by mistake.
No, there was a...
No, that's the first thing that they said. They took him by mistake, and then they said they couldn't bring him back because he's no longer in the country. So now that's why he's over there.
So what was the mistake? I mean...
You'll have to look at it. That was from the Trump administration that said they took him, they admitted, they took him by mistake, they swept him up.
So what was the mistake?
He was not the person that was supposed to go. He already had in his immigration paperwork, when he came over to apply for asylum, it already says on his paperwork he's not supposed to go back to El Salvador.
That was not when he came over. That was due process through the court of law.
No, this was before.
What was the reason
why? So when they took him and they put him there, and then they said they're not supposed to have him. It was a mistake.
What was the mistake?
That he was not supposed to go to El Salvador.
Well,
he was not supposed to go into jail.
Wasn't that because of the gang members that were there?
There's no evidence.
Technically, he was threatened and scared for his life.
Because of his family.
So to explain your mistake.
Okay.
He received an order that said that he could not be deported until there was a judicial review, because there might be circumstances that his life would be in danger if
he was not supposed to go to El Salvador.
For known gang members there that might kill him.
Okay, so
back when this order was issued, this is not an order that said he could stay. This was just a temporary
But he's in jail. He's in jail. What did he do to go in jail?
Well, he's a wife beater for one. He came into our country illegally for another.
No, you're saying that.
He's a part of the MS-13 gang.
No, he's not.
Two courts have already proven without a doubt
That's
he's part of
baloney.
MS-13.
Go look that up. You're saying that because you're spewing out the point. He's had no due process. He has not been adjudicated. If he has, bring him back. Bring him back. Get him out of there. Put him in there.
You want us to bring him back from El Salvador?
Yes.
So that the courts can say the gangs that you were scared for your life for going back have been dismantled and have been put into the jails.
You're saying he's an MS-13 member. Prove that. They have not proven that. Just because you say it doesn't make it true. That's it. So no due process. They're just sweeping people up and sending them out. That's not okay. I don't.
So the two different courts had it all wrong.
A life sentence.
The only
Show me the
state
court.
that he
Show me
had
the
to be
court.
able to stay in the country.
Yeah.
What court had it wrong?
They determined that he was an MS-13.
Who's they?
Who is they?
They haven't. They're saying that.
Determined that.
They're saying that.
That's what they say.
Well, you're saying that, so who is they that's saying that he
Even if he was an MS-13, he deserves due process. That due process is for criminals. That's what
That's
it's
how you
for.
determine their
That's
criminal.
where it's determined. You know what due process means?
I do.
He
Something
has
that's
not had
totally
due
missing within our
process.
country. You see it with the J6ers. There's no due process.
They
there.
only
You can see
there's
the
no due
34
process.
felony
No
charges
due
in
process.
prison.
They went
all
to
went
the
to
trial.
No due process.
You don't know what
They
due
went through the
process
justice
means.
system. You don't know what it means, dude. You're spewing nothing. You spew nothingness. Where do you get your information, bro?
Look up
Do you
due
read?
process, sir.
Do you know how to read?
I've asked the same question of you. Do you know how to read?
Yeah.
Do you want something
I study public
Read a
policy. I
history
study
book.
that.
Look
I
up what
study
due
it.
process means.
Yeah, you don't know what
That
it
means you go into.
yours. Well, thank you guys for tuning in. It's always fun to argue the deportation of the Maryland man. Listening to the people that are clearly not informed on the laws. There's a reason why mainstream media has stopped talking about the Maryland dad, because they have been proven without a shadow of a doubt that he should have been deported. The one technical glitch that he might have been in threat of his life does not exist anymore. And to bring him all the way back to the United States just to say that life is in danger to go to El Salvador has already been proven. Fun and interesting days.
And I will do the pin too. Hi. What's your real name?
Bert.
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 B-E-R-T?
Yep.
You guys know Bert?
No,
Otherwise,
just thought we've
Lunatics?
seen him today.
Yeah. Are you having fun?
I am having fun.
Good.
It's been way too long since I walked the line.
You got a smile on your face.
He always has a smile.
So thanks again for being here today. We are just about ready to wrap up our walk through the last of the line. Had a couple more interesting conversations.
Be careful out there. Those people are crazy on that street.
Oh, I know. Did you see the guy that just laid the black rubber there all the way
My
down?
heart was just pounding so hard I could hardly stand it.
I kept waiting for the back end of his vehicle to do this number of go smash it into the wall going, all right, is it coming?
Very, very impressed. Yeah. You know, what are you going to do?
Hard to say.
This.
Alright folks, you guys got to see I walked the line one last time. Large volume of the people that are out here have already left for the day. Like, share, click those stars. Show that you like us a little bit more. Go to our website at Politadick.com, make a donation. Help us cover our streaming costs and make sure you can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Rumble. We're on our website when we're live at Politadick.com, and that is a portable player as long as we are live. You can always find locations to be able to find us. And we do thank you guys all for being here today. I mean, it is greatly appreciated that you came and watched and stuck with us this entire time. You Alaskans rock. If you're from out of Alaska, thank you. I know a good majority, 99% of our audience is all from here in our state. And it's folks like you that help us make us available to be able to get out here and do things like this. Your support is what makes those kind of things possible. And without it, we wouldn't be where we're at today. We hit our 8-year mark here at Politadick this month, or I should say in April. April 17th was our 8-year mark being on the air. And we do appreciate you all for making that possible. We hope to be here for another 8 more years. And just so you think, if this is not a paid-for activist movement by the unions and NEA and through the different organizations like Fairbanks Action Coalition and the Alaska Native Movement and the Rasmuson Foundation or CIRI, just take a look at all the pre-made signs that they bring for these events. They do it every single time. And you can see here, they got all the signs of what the protesters have left here for their unions to pick up and take back with them. And this was the union event down here. They had it earlier. They had basically shooed me off. A lot of the people that were causing me the most grief out there are a part of this. So again, like, share, thank you all. Greatly appreciate it. You guys are all wonderful. It's supporters like you that make this possible. Again, you can find us always on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Rumble, on our website when we're live, like right now. And we're going to sign off. So you guys all have yourself a great evening, and we'll see you the next time around.